Elizabeth Taylor is one of the most iconic names in Hollywood and a pivotal figure in film history. Throughout her career, Taylor was not only known for her acting talent, but also for her personal life, full of dramas, loves, and scandals that captivated the public. Considered one of the greatest actresses of all time, her legacy endures, not only for her acting ability, but also for her fight for social causes, especially the fight against AIDS. In this video, we review the life, career, and legacy of one of Hollywood's brightest stars, Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Rosamond Taylor was born on February 27, 1932 in London, England, to an American family. His mother, Sarah Southern, was an actress and his father, Francis Taylor, was an art dealer. The family moved to Los Angeles when Elizabeth was 7 years old due to World War II, and it was there that she began her film career. At the age of 9, Elizabeth Taylor signed her first contract with Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Her first major role was in the 1942 film There's One Born Every Minute. Although she was initially known for her beauty, it was her talent and ability to play complex characters that made her one of the great actresses of her time. Elizabeth Taylor's true breakout as a star came in 1944 with her role in National Velvet, a film in which she played a young woman who wants to compete in the Grand National, one of the most prestigious horse races in the world. This role made her famous throughout the world. His image as a young movie star was consolidated as her career progressed. Taylor went from being a child prodigy to becoming one of the biggest actresses in Hollywood. During the 1950s, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer promoted her as the new Garbo or Marilyn Monroe due to her dazzling beauty and ability to captivate audiences. Taylor won several major awards, including 2 Academy Awards, the famous Oscars, becoming one of the few actresses to achieve such a distinction. One of his greatest achievements of this time was his performance in A Place in the Sun in 1951, a film that allowed him to show his dramatic ability. Her performance earned her an Oscar nomination, cementing her status as one of the great actresses of her generation. Throughout her career, Elizabeth Taylor appeared in a number of films that defined her legacy. In 1960, he starred in one of his most iconic films, Butterfield 8, for which he won his first Academy Award. Her portrayal of a woman caught in a moral dilemma made her a symbol of emotional complexity on screen. However, it was in 1963 when he achieved unprecedented international fame thanks to his participation in Cleopatra, directed by Joseph L. Mankiewicz. The film was an epic financial failure, but the confrontation with Richard Burton, her co-star and real-life lover, the enormous media success of this film catapulted Taylor to a new dimension of fame. The story of her romance with Burton was closely followed by the media, making them one of the most famous couples in the history of cinema. The relationship with Burton not only became a media phenomenon, but also one of the most turbulent in Hollywood. Despite her 2 failed marriages, her relationship with Burton was the most famous and passionate of her life. Together they starred in several films, including Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, from 1966, a film that earned them both Oscars and cemented their superstar status. Elizabeth Taylor's personal life was as fascinating and controversial as her career. Taylor was married 8 times to 7 different men. In addition to Richard Burton, her other husbands included Conrad Hilton Jr., heir to the hotel chain Michael Wilding, Eddie Fisher, and John Warner, a former senator from Virginia. Although her marriages were the subject of constant media attention, Elizabeth Taylor never let her private life overshadow her career. On many occasions, she faced criticism and controversy, but she continued to be a figure admired for her bravery, her decisions, and, above all, her unwavering personality. The relationship with Burton, in particular, left an indelible mark on Hollywood history. In addition to her love life, Taylor was known for her constant fight against adversity. He suffered several health problems, including heart problems and drug and alcohol addiction. However, her resilience made her an admired figure not only in film, but also in real life. Throughout her life, Elizabeth Taylor was an active supporter of various social causes, especially the fight against AIDS. In 1985, When the AIDS epidemic was at its peak, Taylor became one of the first public figures to speak openly about the disease. She founded the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, an organization that raised millions to support research and prevention of this disease. His work as an AIDS activist was fundamental in the fight for visibility and education about the disease. Through her efforts, Taylor became a leading advocate for the cause, and her contribution to social and political activism remains a crucial part of her legacy. Elizabeth Taylor died on March 23, 2011, at the age of 79. His death was a blow to the world of cinema, since we lost one of the most important figures in the history of the seventh art. However, his legacy lives on. Throughout her career, Elizabeth Taylor demonstrated that beauty and talent are not separate elements. On the contrary, she fused them to create unforgettable characters that continue to be admired by today's generations. If you want to see other interesting stories, you can follow me on my YouTube channel, Frank Fernandez Historia,